If you've ever been scrolling on Pinterest, you might have come across one of these kind of pixelated pixel grids, alpha patterns, grams. They're called a lot of things, but it's basically a picture with a lot of squares in them. Did you know that you could take any of these pictures and turn them into crochet projects? Everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today's tutorial is going to be a tapestry crochet tutorial. Now, before you skip, I highly recommend not skipping what I'm about to say here because I'm going to end up giving you a lot of tips throughout. I'd love to put all of the tips in one section so you can just refer to them, but honestly, that's just not how crocheting works. Like, I just will randomly think of a tip whilst I'm crocheting and I mention it in the video. So I do recommend not skipping because you might end up missing something that I've already answered during the video. This is the most common question I get. How do you do tapestry crochet? How do you do tapestry crochet? How do you do this? Anything related to tapestry crochet. It is only hard at first, tapestry crochet. Once you get the basics, it becomes a lot easier, but you need to practice. I find most of my grids on Pinterest. You can also find them on Google Images, braceletbook.com. There's a lot of places that you could find any pixelated picture. This tutorial, I will be choosing a picture from Pinterest. Please ignore my laptop. It is definitely falling apart, but listen, life is hard. I'm gonna be scrolling on Pinterest and finding a picture to use, and I'm using a picture that I haven't made on Stitch Fiddle that is not numbered, and I'm doing this because I want you to understand how to work with the hardest kind of image that you can, so that when you leave this tutorial, everything else is just gonna be easier. It's gonna be like a step down. So here's the picture that we'll be using. All I do is just press the image. Sometimes we'll go over here and just do download image. Now that it's downloaded, at this point, you want to count how wide the graph is from left to right, right to left, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I have 21 stitches in width. And then you want to count the height. 1, 2, 3, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it's 21 by 21. Both length and width are the same. If you want, you can just write that down somewhere, like 1 and 21. This is just to make your life easier. Also, after you finish each row, you could just kind of make a marker and cross it out so that you know which row you're on. Let's get started. The sort of technique I'm showing you today is going to be similar to this tapestry over here. So this is called Fair Isle crochet, and that is just where we are floating the yarn in the back. So if you want it to look clean on both sides, so for this image to be exactly the same over here, you would need to refer to Intarsia Tapestry Crochet, and I have a tutorial on that. But for this video, it is Fair Isle. This is just the basics. Another example I did. So once you've chosen your graph, you're gonna make sure that you have your yarn. Make sure you have all those colors, and if you don't have every single color, make sure that you have colors that like would look nice. Like if it wasn't white, would green look nice? I think I would like green. Now we're gonna analyze this graph a bit more. So we know it's 21 stitches length and width, but let's look at the colors. So the first row has no color changes. Usually I like to choose graphs with no color changes in the first row. It just makes things a bit more simple and easier. 3 colors for this graph, and we're going to start off with a slip knot. And then we are going to chain. So how many do we have? We have 21. So we're going to chain 22, and then we're going to skip the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18, 20, 21, 22. We've chained 22. Meaning this little chain over here. I go into the bumps, by the way. I probably mentioned this in my other tutorials. I like to crochet into the bumps and not the chains. So I will be crocheting into the bumps for this tutorial. If you'd like to crochet in the chain, you can also do that too. Skip the first bump, and then we're going to go into the second one here and place a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 20 and 21. So this is the last 21st stitch, and then we can chain 1. And now I just want to make clear, it actually doesn't matter where we are in the graph. The most important part at this stage of your project is the fact that we are about to change colors in the next row. In tapestry crochet, we go from left to right and then right to left. So left one, all the way to right is the 21st stitch. And then right to left, meaning we go right above the 21st stitch. If you were starting from here, so 1, imagine this is 1 and then this is 21. From 1 to 21, then you would go from right to left and then left to right. So you would start over here. Because there are no color changes, it's all up to us where we want to say we've started from. Just to make things easier, let's say we actually did go from 1 to 21, the way that I numbered the chart. That means I went from left to right, meaning I need to now go from right to left. So now I am going to insert 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And I'm gonna stop. Every single box is 1 single crochet in tapestry crochet. So I've just done 1, 2 on row 2, and I've stopped on the second row, and now we have a color change. You have to listen to this part because it's very important. So now we have a color change. Look at how I'm changing the colors. I am leaving the pink behind me, okay? And then I'm inserting the white behind as well. Everything is behind. So because I've done this, it means that the row that I'm working on, the row 2, is the right side. The right side is the side that is clean and pretty and the side that we want to show. The yarn should never be facing us if we are working on the right side. It should always be left at the back. The wrong side in tapestry crochet is simply the side where all of the yarn is hiding, is a mess. The wrong side is called wrong side because it's just ugly. Like, that's the side that you don't want to show. So I've inserted my new white yarn chart. The chart says to put 1 white single crochet. So I'm going to go like this and insert a white single crochet, and I'm going to stop early. We stop early because we need to prep for the color change. Now I need to put 18 pinks. So I just want to show you as well. So I just really want you guys to understand the message that I'm trying to get out, because this is where a lot of people go wrong. And this is where I went wrong a lot of the time too. So as we can see from the chart, right? I'll cross out this row since we've done it. If I were to hide the yarn over here and put it on the side facing me, this means I've decided that I'm crocheting on the wrong side, okay? And then if I were to continue on, this means that I am deciding that we don't want to see this side. Okay? So I'm going to hide the yarn just like this. And then continue 1, 2, all up to 18. Then that means that I'm trying to show you guys this side. Like, this is the side I want to show. But the picture is mirrored now, right? Because this little white part is on the left, whereas it's on the right on the chart. This is where we go wrong. Doesn't really matter for this chart just because it's not that detailed, but if you were doing a very detailed chart that you really want to get the picture exactly correct, then this is extremely important. So for the first row of the color change, you need to make sure that your piece matches up with the graph. Always stop after you finish the first color change, take a look at your right side and make sure that it matches with the graph. Right? I am deciding I want this to be the right side, okay? I want it to be exactly mirrored. So I'm gonna insert the yarn at the back because that is the side we don't want to show. Then I'm gonna do 1 single crochet and leave it, and then 18 more pinks. It's the 21st stitch, and then last single crochet, chain 1. Now I'm gonna turn my work. Just finished row 2, so you can go ahead and just cross row 2 out. And remember that we went from left to right, right to left. Now we are gonna go from left to right again. So I can also just draw like an arrow to make things a bit easier. to understand. So we went from right to left. We are now going to go from left to right, meaning we start over here. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I just want you guys to get it. Row 3 is going to be starting from here all the way to the right. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 pinks that we need to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Remember, my white is over here. This is because I am currently crocheting on the wrong side. We crocheted on the right side for row 2, which was the color change. We are now going to the wrong side. Tapestry crochet, every other row is gonna be the other side, right? So wrong side, right side, wrong side, right side. That's how it goes. You're encountering the wrong side every other row. It should be easy to tell which side you're on because the yarn will always be facing you if you're working on the wrong side. And then when we're working on the right side, we just drop the yarn in the back. Now, I have 7 single crochets of pink. Now I need to switch to white. With Farrell crochet, you don't always need to insert a new skein the way you do with Intarsia. So something you could do is just take this white and bring it all the way over here. I would do this if I'm a little bit lazy, I can't lie, just because it's such a humongous gap. Okay, so we're gonna hide the yarn because we are working on the wrong side. And then we are going to hold this white that we got from over here. I'm gonna hold it and pull it through, just like this. I'll make it a little bit more tight, just like that. Then we're gonna do 2 whites. Now I like to put my hook underneath that float, underneath like this, and then I will do the 2, 1, 2, and I'll stop, and then I'll just hide this yarn, white yarn, and then switch. It's telling us to do 3 more pinks. So I'm gonna get my pink, insert it, and then I'm gonna do 3 pinks. I can insert my hook again and hide the floats, but that does mean that the white is gonna poke through a little bit. So that's up to you. 1, 2, and then 3. On the 3rd one, I like to just leave it alone. And then pick up the white again and insert 2, because that is what our chart is saying. 1, and then 2, and then pick up the pink again. 1, 2, and 3. Over here is where we are. And then as I'm doing this, it is getting tangled, right? Now, if you pick up the yarn in a certain way here, if I pick up the white like this, I'm just tangling it a bit more. So I can go like this and then pick up the white and it's less tangled. That's how I try to avoid tangling. So hide that pink again, pull that through. Okay, and then it says 1 white, 1 pink, 1 white. So I'm gonna do 1 white, hide it, 1 pink. The pink is on top of that last white. And then another white over here, hide that, pick up the pink, and then once again, one pink. Okay, so I'm gonna now draw because we basically finished this and we went like this. Then we're going to chain 1, and now we are on row 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are on row 4. We are going from right to left. So I hope this is clear now. You can see, guys, that this is going to match up with the chart. Okay, so I'll take that out because we didn't actually do it. Going from right to left because we just went from left to right, right to left. Okay, so we are gonna do 2 pinks, 1, 2. Then we switch to white, Where's this white? Over here. We go like 1, then switch to pink for 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And then we switch to white, 1, 2, 3, 4, white, and then 1 pink. Sorry if I'm going fast. 1 pink, and then 4 more white. So we're floating it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. See how I'm just picking up the yarn? I'm not like carrying it through that much because I don't want it to show. So this is what I mean about the tangledness. If I just pick up the pink underneath, then it's a bit less tangled over here. But I have to keep doing that throughout. So now it's pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so just to be clear, you cannot go from left to right, then left to right, then left to right. You must go from left to right, then right to left, then left to right, then right to left. If you go from left to right, here to here, here to here, here to here, you've made up your own type of tapestry crochet. This is not tapestry crochet. You're gonna end up very angry and start crying. So that's how we read the chart. It doesn't matter if you start here or if you start there. Just to make sure you are going to the row above where you've just ended, the stitch above where you've just ended. So I just want to show you guys as well that both ways work. So imagine I've now numbered the chart 1 to 21 instead of 1 and then 21 over here. So we're going from right to left for the first row. That would mean row 2 would be from left to right, okay? And we would start off with 18 pink single crochets, which I've done here. I just want to show you. And then we would have our white color change. This would mean that we would have to be working on the wrong side for row 2, whereas before we were working on the right side. Okay, so we would hide the yarn the way I'm showing you towards us, insert it, and then finish it off with 2 pinks, chain 1, and then you can see, right, this is the wrong side, this is the right side. We just have to manipulate it to match the graph. Okay, so I went from 18 single crochets instead of going from 2 for row 2. I just want to show you guys, I'm about halfway through the project. It is working up really nicely, and I would, you know, finish the whole thing, but I don't have time to. I have to do stuff. So I will just tell you what I'll do afterwards. Imagine this is finished. This is the wrong side. So this is what I mean by right side, wrong side. Wrong side is this ugly mess that we encounter every other row. And then this is the right side. This is the side we want to show to everybody. After you're finished, just weave in your ends properly. There won't be too many ends to weave in if you've not been inserting a new skein. And you cannot do anything about these floats. Some people glue some fabric on top. I don't really care. You could if you want. I've not used glue in my crochet yet. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comment section. Realize that this takes practice and you get better and better as you practice more. So keep doing different graphs. You can see how many I've done. If you look at my shorts, I've literally done like 10. Like I do a lot. And that's just the small graphs. I've done plenty humongous graphs. And it's all just practice. And then there's more stuff that I haven't even posted. So yeah, practicing really does make perfect. Okay? I hope this helped.